Hello everyone and welcome back to Rebel Brick. At the time that this goes up, this should be the 4th of July, and that's why I have the figures and the Bradley Armored Personnel Carrier out. I had gotten this was actually from Mega Bloks quite a few years ago. I served in the Army when I was younger, and this is the same type of track I had served on. Not exactly the same. There's a couple minor differences here, but first and foremost, happy 4th of July, everyone that's here in the United States. To everyone else in the rest of the world, when your independence comes up and that, I wish you the best, but because I'm here in the United States and this is near and dear to me, I'd like to wish everyone in the United States a happy 4th and stay safe. In all the silly things that I do, because I do role-playing games and stuff like that, I was thinking about doing a more modern military, kind of based off of G.I. Joe. I kind of like that idea. We haven't gotten there yet. We're still doing Dungeons and Dragons, and we don't meet all that often. Unfortunately, work schedules and everything else, they just don't work very well for that. But for today, being the day that it is, I kind of wanted to showcase my Bradley. Like I said, I was a driver. I was a driver for a year. I served for 2 years, and I was a dismount for a year, and that. I still have a lot of pride for doing that, and I'm very proud of myself for having served, and for everyone else that serves as well. I mean, I think it is something that we should have a little bit of pride in, because not everybody does. I also like to mention, because while we are off serving our country and our allies and that, we have the fire departments and the police departments that don't really get all the recognition, and I'd like to say a big thank you to them for protecting our homes and our families while we serve abroad. But here we have a Bradley fighting vehicle. This vehicle it looks like a tank. So they gave us TOW missiles to try and go against tanks. That's a 25 millimeter, and I can't remember exactly. It's been many years. I don't know what they're all up to. I know I've seen pictures of what they look like inside today, and there's a lot more computers in there than when I was in the Army. So this piece comes off, which is kind of nice, because then we can look inside. So on the top, it's got a grill plating here, which covers our engine exhaust. It's got the driver's hatch. We actually have the track commander's hatch. This is another hatch that would be for the gunner. That's our gunner's sights, our TOW missiles. It's only a set of 2 missiles in there. This is a hatch that would actually open up. And as we look inside, I think they did really nice. Here's the driver's seat. This is, we call that the hellhole, because if you ever have to get out of there and you're in combat, that's like hell to get in there. This has got some TOW missiles sitting here, or whatever missiles they made it really look like. It doesn't look like TOW missiles, but it works. The way this looks and the way that's set up, I would say that this is more the scout vehicle, not the armored personnel carrier. So there were 2 different types. I was on an armored personnel carrier because I was in the infantry, not in the scout. And they actually have a computer which has got like a map and all that here. They got some stuff sitting up there, which I don't really remember. So this is already kind of looking at it as a more upgraded version than what I had. But we could hold 6 people in the back. We had a gunner, track commander, and a driver. So I think it does pretty good. It looks pretty nice to me, especially when I can just have it sit there on my shelf and that. The odd thing is we do have a door. and we have a ramp. So if you're just trying to get into the vehicle, you don't really need the ramp down. You know, we did actually have a door. It's probably still on there today. I couldn't tell you what everything looks like today because it's been so many years. The other interesting thing is we do actually have an engine compartment. So as we look in there, I do not remember what type of engine that was. I mean, I wasn't the mechanic. I was just a driver. Our mechanics took care of all that stuff for us. Blessed to have a bunch of good mechanics when I was in the service. The one thing is I do remember we had a plate so we could actually access the engine. So if you were ever cold in the winter, you could actually open that plate out. It is a little noisier from the engine sitting right next to you, but you know, it did work. It gave you a little extra heat off the engine. The part that always would kind of throw us for fits is every once in a while we're working on the engine, we drop a wrench down there, and then the Bradley ate it. So, but that's a quick little view of our Bradley. I can put the top back on here. So it was an interesting vehicle to be on. We usually had a couple extra pieces of track in case we ever broke the track, because let's face it, things break down. That's why they always carry spare tires and that on military vehicles, just in case. I can't remember how many years ago it was that I had found this and I got that on, or I picked this up and built it, but I know when I got home with it that day, I was trying to put her together. So, but yeah, that was from Mega Bricks. Mega Constructs is what they call themselves now. It's Mattel's version of Legos. I don't really have anything negative with them. I kind of like some of the looks of some of their Halo stuff, and I know I've picked up a couple things from Halo. Actually, I'm trying to think. I think this is off of Halo. And they do pretty good. So I kind of like the mechs and the military vehicles and all that stuff. So their figures are a little bit bigger, so unfortunately they don't work with our regular Lego. So usually I'll take the figures and I'll set them off to the side, and I like to stay with traditional Lego figures. Obviously these aren't going to be traditional because Lego does not like to do modern military. That's their view, and I respect that. So, oops. Let me get the guy off the motorcycle. Alright, well then he can stand over here. Alright. I do kind of like the idea of having some other scout troops on motorcycles or some other stuff here. Just kind of set that on top of their backpacks. And we did actually put our backpacks up on the side, so I do remember having a field problem where my track had gone for a week and I did not have any of the extra gear that I really wish I would have had, especially when it comes to nighttime. You're hoping to grab a couple hours of shut-eye and you don't have anything to cover up with, so you just have to make do with whatever you have on hand. And with that being said, again, happy 4th of July. Thank you for watching Rebel Brick. I'm going to sound like everybody else, but if you do like the videos, please like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate that you spent some time and watching the videos. Have a good day.